Hi YouTube. This video is called Black People Wake Up. Um, I just really want to get into I focus more on ethnicity and race, but I want to kind of merge it into the light skin versus dark skin in this video and really kind of give black people the information that they really need to identify themselves in this country. In this country, you have race and you have ethnicity. And race is generally based off of primary ancestral lineage, and ethnicity is based off of partial um, ancestral lineage. Um, I would say that in America, it's weird because okay, you have Black American and then you have African American, and from my understanding, they're merged. Like we're like allies. So we're like allies. Like let's say if you have Chrysler and Mercedes, they merged. So Chrysler still makes its brand and Mercedes still makes its brand. There's a certain criteria to be a Chrysler car and there's a certain criteria to be a Mercedes. So it's kind of like that when you merge. So you have Black American and you have African American. Black American is your racial term, African American is your ethnic term. Okay? So it's like, okay, so like okay, for example, they say that Latino Hispanic is the largest ethnic minority in America. In terms, Black American is the largest racial minority in America. And that's why they separate those so that you can understand that ethnicity is different from race because ethnicity is multiracial. So African American is an ethnicity derived from chattel slavery. And that point, all you need is partial lineage because it's an ethnicity. All you need is to have partial lineage to a descendant of slavery in America. If you have that, then you can claim African American. In that, like I've said multiple times before, you have white people, you have multiracial, biracial, and you have some people that are black. You have all type of races that claim African American because what it is, it's an ethnical term, not a racial term. And that's why all African Americans aren't Black Americans and all Black Americans aren't African Americans because you have some Black Americans that's Hispanic or Latino. You have some Black Americans that are African. All Black people aren't all Black Americans aren't African American. And all African Americans aren't Black American. Some African Americans are biracial. Some of them are multiracial. Some of them are white. Some of them may be Native American Indian. Some of them may even be Asian. So, at that point, I mean, it's hard. I think that, you people want to say that, okay, well, there's a light dark and a light black and a dark black. But that's really an ignorance because there is no light black and dark black. There's Black American and there's ethnicities. And so these ethnicities are multiracial. So these people that are biracial that you keep trying to call black are really just African American. They're still biracial, but they're African American ethnically. Racially, they're biracial. So these a lot of and it is true that you will get okay, and some people will say, well, okay, well, two dark people could create a light baby. Yes, that is true. But it would be such a minority that the darks would still have the majority of the Black American title. And that's all I'm saying without the ignorance. When you take the ignorance out, all I'm saying is a lot of people I've noticed they base things off the way that they feel. And I understand that you feel that things should be a certain way. It's okay to feel that things should be that way. But when you feel that things should be a certain way, you have a choice. You have a choice to go through the proper steps of gaining the support and putting a petition and changing the law so that the way that you feel can be right. Or you have the choice of just feeling the way that you feel and living in some fantasy world that's not the law, then you have the choice of leaving and going somewhere else that may run things the way that you feel. So I understand how people feel, but in reality, you have the law, and until that change, that is right because that has more power than any individual. All you can do as an individual is try to change the law. But as long as the law and as long as those rules and regulations is set on ethnicities and race and stuff like you can't keep the ignorance of doing things the way that you want to do it or the way that you want to perceive it because I think that that's you know what I'm saying that's not correct in a society and you always going to suffer the consequences. You know what I'm saying? You can not follow the rules, but you have to then suffer the consequences. And I think that's why black people do so bad and we have so many problems in our race is because we suffer the consequences of ignorance. And that's just something that we have to stop. Hit me back. Let me know what you feel. Like I said, this was just a throw out there video, so it wasn't prepared. That's what I'm saying.